They came just after sunrise, 3 figures marching across my lawn like they owned it. A clipboard, a hammer, and an attitude. That's how it started. Welcome to Silent Divide Tales. Make sure you like and subscribe, because you don't want to miss tomorrow's story. The morning air was still cool when I saw her, Karen, wearing her usual pink sweater and that smug smile that could curdle milk. She wasn't alone this time. 2 men in navy shirts labeled HOA enforcement trailed behind her like bodyguards. My gut twisted. I had finished installing my wheelchair ramp 2 weeks ago after hip surgery. My doctor said it was necessary, but to Karen it was an eyesore. She had been threatening to handle it ever since. "Mr. Harris," she barked from the driveway, "you've ignored multiple notices. Today we're taking this thing down." Before I could even respond, one of the men dropped his toolbox beside the ramp and started unpacking wrenches. The other took pictures like it was some kind of crime scene. "Ma'am, you can't just—" I began, but she cut me off sharply. "Watch me." The first crack of metal against wood hit like a gunshot. I felt it in my chest. Before we dive in deeply, let us know in the comments what country or which city you're watching this story from. We'd love to know how far this story travels. The metallic clang echoed through the neighborhood. One of the men crouched down, loosening the bolts while the other steadied the wooden railing. Karen stood tall behind them, arms crossed like a queen overseeing her soldiers. "Careful," she ordered. "Don't scratch the concrete. He'll probably try to sue." Her voice made my blood boil. "Karen, that ramp isn't just wood. It's how I get into my house. You can't touch it without a permit." She smirked. "This is your notice, Mr. Harris. It violates HOA uniformity. I warned you." Across the street, a few neighbors had gathered. Phones were out. Mrs. Alvarez muttered something under her breath and shook her head. The sound of the drill biting into the ramp drowned everything else. "You're breaking federal law," I shouted. "That ramp's protected by the ADA." Karen's face twisted with mock concern. "Oh, please, don't start that nonsense. Federal law doesn't apply to our neighborhood." I gripped the side of my chair, trembling. Every hit of that hammer felt personal, like they were tearing away my dignity piece by piece. Then I noticed something. One of the men hesitated, his eyes darting towards the corner of the street, like he'd seen something coming. The man with the hammer froze mid-swing. His partner glanced up too, squinting toward the end of the street. I followed their gaze and saw it, a black pickup truck slowly rolling into the neighborhood. Its windows were tinted, its movement unhurried but deliberate. Karen noticed the distraction and snapped, "What are you two waiting for? Keep working." The taller one swallowed hard. "Ma'am, maybe we should make sure this is—" "Do I look unsure to you?" she barked. "Finish the job." The hammer came down again, splintering the wood. I clenched my fists, my heart thundering. "You're destroying my property." Karen turned sharply. "This is our property regulation, Mr. Harris. You don't make the rules here. I do." That's when the pickup stopped right in front of my driveway. The door opened slowly, and out stepped a man in jeans, a dark jacket, and mirrored sunglasses. He didn't say a word at first, just watched. The air felt heavier suddenly, the kind of silence that makes everyone uncomfortable. Karen frowned. "Excuse me, sir. This is HOA business. Please move along." The man took one step forward. "Looks more like a crime scene to me." Her smirk faltered. Karen's smile twitched, but she recovered quickly. "Sir, this is private HOA enforcement. You're trespassing," she said sharply. The man ignored her, walking closer with steady, confident steps. The sunlight caught his badge as it flashed from his jacket pocket. "You want to explain why these men are tearing down a wheelchair ramp?" he asked calmly, eyes scanning the scene. Karen lifted her chin. "Because it violates neighborhood design standards. It's ugly. It lowers property values." The stranger tilted his head. "So you think aesthetics are more important than federal accessibility law?" The 2 men looked at each other nervously. One whispered, "Federal?" under his breath. Karen scoffed. "I don't answer to the government. This is HOA jurisdiction." The man took another step forward, his voice firm but measured. "Not today, it isn't." He reached into his jacket, revealing a Department of Justice ID card. "Name's Agent Brooks, Civil Rights Division." Karen blinked fast. "You're kidding." Brooks shook his head slowly. "No, ma'am. And what you just did here, ordering a federally protected ramp to be destroyed, that's a serious crime." The two HOA officers froze, hands dropping from their tools. The neighborhood went completely silent. Karen's confidence shattered in an instant. Wait, there must be a misunderstanding," she stammered, voice trembling now. "I was only following HOA guidelines." Agent Brooks turned to her, his tone calm but cutting. "Federal law always outweighs HOA rules. Destroying accessibility features meant for medical use is a direct violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act. That's a federal offense." He motioned to the two men still standing beside the half-torn ramp. "And you two, impersonating law enforcement?" He shook his head. "That's another crime entirely." The bald man dropped his hammer, backing away. "We didn't know. She said it was authorized." Neighbors crowded closer, phones filming every second. Mrs. Alvarez yelled from across the street, "We told you, Karen, you went too far." Karen's face went red, then pale. "Please, you can't arrest me. It was just a ramp." Brooks looked her dead in the eyes. "To you, maybe, but to him, it's his freedom, and you took that away." Real police arrived minutes later. Karen was placed in handcuffs, silent and shaking. I looked down at my broken ramp. It wasn't just wood and bolts anymore. It was proof that standing up for yourself matters. That day, the whole neighborhood learned something Karen never understood. Power without compassion always ends badly. The end. Please like and subscribe for more rich stories like this. Comment below what city or country you're watching from. We'd love to know where our viewers are tuning in from.